What was one of the craziest foods you had on your mission?
I had cactus. Cactus served on fried. Yep.
What was one of the craziest or most dangerous experiences you had?
Only one. And that was one day we went to McDonald's, drove over to a car that was like an inch off the ground, a white truck, and we pulled around to take a picture of it. And I did, and my flash went off, and I didn't think anything about it. And my companion's like, "Your flash." And I was like, "What? It's fine. We'll drive around and take another one." So he drove around, and the car was gone. Instead, he was behind us, and he flashed his lights on us. And so we drove out, and we he just was tailing us the whole time. And so then we had to drive quickly. My companion was like, "Go, go, go." And I was like, no, we'll just talk to him and be like, "Hey, we just thought your car was cool." And he's like, "Dude, no, just go." so I ended up driving, and we ended up getting away as we were assuming, pull the back of his car up as we like turned a U-turn. Our hearts were racing, and it was crazy.
What was one of the most spiritual experiences you had on your mission?
It would be sitting in the home of Jennifer. We sat down with her, and she wanted to know what church was true. She'd been investigating the church for maybe 4 years or 4 months. I can't remember the exact detail, but a long time. And one day when we sat down with her, she told us that her family, or she'd been praying, she got an answer, she saw it in a vision. Her husband, but she didn't want to tell anybody because she thought it'd be weird. And then her husband said a prayer over her, and he told her that it would come in a vision. And that's when she thought about it, and that happened 30 days previous. So on this moment, all of that came together, and she opened up and said, "Hey, I think I've got my answer." And that was when the Spirit just filled the room, and we all were ecstatic. And she said, "I want to get baptized." And so we set a date for her the next week, and we met with her every day. And the Spirit that was in the room that day was just so tremendous. And she's just been a faithful member ever since.
What was one of the best life lessons you learned on your mission?
That it is not my way or the highway, but that as we listen to others' perspectives and we give time for them, by truly living through them, listening to them, then we can realize that there's more good that can be done than doing it your way.
What's the best skill you gained on your mission, or the greatest skill?
To listen to the Spirit and remember that He's in charge, and that if we want to do it the best way, that we need to do it His way.
Most extreme weather?
Ooh. Yeah, one day we had a bike down in Safford, and it was so cold. It was like 30 Utah and 30 degrees, and the rain was pouring on us, and we had to bike through it with our jackets, and it was fun.
What was one of the hardest things you went through?
Being able to cope with differences between a couple companions. We just didn't click, and I guess ultimately it would just be feeling lonely and feeling like I'd been deserted, misunderstood, and crying in my bedroom on my knees, where I felt like the only person who would hear me is the Lord, and feeling the peace that came after that, knowing that God does exist and He does love me, and just keep putting one foot in front of the other.
Best piece of mission prep advice you could give?
Go big or go home. Yeah, probably though. I mean, just give it your all. Just go out there and don't think. I'm a thinker. I like to think, but I think that I I get too much in my head, and sometimes when that applies to others, then I try to see their perspective and try to assume what they're thinking, and it really doesn't matter. Just to be you, do what you do, the best that you do it, give it your all. Don't think about what others are trying to think. Don't try to play their head games. Just give it your all. Be loving, be kind, and take every day like it's your last.
What's the best advice you could give to someone just getting home from their mission? Recent RN.
Pray. Pray and keep the same habits. Really, I don't feel like getting home is any different than being out in the field, except that you're not set apart. But if you can wake up at 6:30, go to bed at 10:30, read your scriptures an hour, study another hour, and then plan your day every day and have weekly planning and share the gospel and go out with the missionaries and ride your bike and get active and work out. If you can do all those daily things and do them, like there's no point in not doing them. The mission is a very divinely appointed schedule. And so if you want to feel the Spirit just like you did on your mission, you got to do the things that you did on your mission. It's not a secret. You just live the same life with the same attitude and the same schedule that you had. But when you can't do it, then don't give up. Just move forward, knowing that you're still a missionary. Your name tag is on your heart. It's not something that's you have to wear to be a missionary.